everybody. This is Dr. Forth, and today's topic is about building an external or second brain to help you with school. It's kind of a strange way to think about that, but the actual term of building a second brain for school was actually coined by Tiago Forte. He's a productivity expert, founder of Forte Labs, and we've talked about some of these pieces, but he actually put together an entire program about it. And so I want to go over that with you today. He developed a four-step methodology, and the acronym for it is CODE, CODE. So C for capture, where you're going to save all of your materials, study notes, syllabi, PDF articles, all together saved in one central location. This is kind of like the idea that I told you in other videos where you can kind of create your own little archive of materials on a external file sharing area like Dropbox or Google Drive or something. So C is for capture. Oh, organize. So file it according to how you can use it rather than just specific academic topics. That's kind of a different idea. So the examples are projects, areas of responsibility, resources, and archives. So it's kind of a different organizational structure than maybe you've thought of before. D is for distill. So this is what did you get out of the information? Summaries, key concepts, and so forth. And E is for express. So you're going to combine all of those items to write essays, study for exams, and complete assignments. He actually has written a couple of books about this method of organization called the Para Method and Building a Second Brain. Those are the names of his two books. So again, the founder was Tiago Forte, and he coined the term building a second brain for school. And the idea is you're taking all of the school stuff and kind of externalizing it into this organizational structure so that you can actively focus on other things. And the external organizational structure helps you put materials together for school. So it helps to organize all of the class materials from the instructor, notes that you've taken. And so you have now a school brain that you can use like a searchable database. And as I mentioned, we've talked about some of these ideas, like instead of just using the class, Blackboard or Canvas page, you kind of take all of the materials that the instructor's given you and put it into your own external drive storage, whatever platform you like to use, and organize it in a way that makes sense to you. And this is great because you have access to it when you're at school or not at school, regardless of whether or not the school network is working at any particular time. There are some apps that are set up to help you with this concept. So one of the apps that's really good is Notion. This is really good for database creation. You can link all of your syllabi here, track deadlines for assignments. That's great. Manage flashcards all in one place. Again, that's Notion. Obsidian. Obsidian uses markdown files and links for link-related concepts. Good for synthesizing a lot of complex topics like literature, biology, history, and then Evernote. And this is really, it's very similar to a lot of the citation tools that are used. This is really good at clipping web articles, searching PDFs, and capturing notes, whether they're recorded lecture or handwritten. And so to set up your own system, you create some kind of a master dashboard There are different ways to do this. I mentioned you might use one of the file sharing options, OneDrive, Google Drive. A lot of schools are going with Office 365. And that means if you are a student enrolled in that school, you have access to all of those Office tools as long as you're a student there, which is great because that means you don't have to purchase your own license for the Microsoft Office stuff. And you also get access to the OneDrive. And so you can make use of that. Just make sure that wherever you put things, you have the permissions set appropriately. So you don't like broadcast things that should not be broadcast to public access. When I talked about it in other videos, I said this is kind of like making up your own Blackboard pages for your classes. So you're creating a master dashboard. Take notes in small sections on distinct topics, and then you can link them together later. You're going to do weekly reviews. So every week, maybe Sunday, because that's the beginning of the week. It's not usually a going out to the club day. And so you have time to work on your schoolwork. So you start the week with a clean slate. Spend some time going through all of your inboxes and clean and process all of the emails. Update your assignment tracker. We talked about putting together either a weekly calendar or a planner, paper or digital. And so you can keep track of all of your due dates. So you would update that and archive notes from completed modules. So this idea of kind of creating an external organizational structure for school is a really good way to help you organize everything. And again, the concept that was developed, he called it creating a second brain for school. And so if you want to look up more about it, that would be a place to find it. He's written those 2 books that you might find to be helpful. And we've talked about some of these concepts before. If you do have any questions or other things that you would like to talk about, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what your opinion is and other ways that we can help. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can see my next topic.